Siblings of the golden child. When did your parents' favoritism come back to bite them? Growing up, I was always labeled the responsible one, while my sister Emma was celebrated as the creative free spirit. Those labels stuck to us like permanent markers on white fabric. When Emma left art supplies scattered across the dining room table, Mom would smile and say, "Look at our little artist making such beautiful messes." When I left my math homework out, I'd get a lecture about organization. Emma's finger paintings covered the refrigerator, while my straight A report cards got a brief "good job" before being filed away. The real disparity became obvious in college, when Emma dramatically announced she was dropping out of business school to find her true artistic soul at an expensive private art school. My parents wrote the tuition check that same week. When I approached them about needing help with my engineering degree costs, Dad delivered his favorite lecture about building character through adversity. "You're smart enough to figure it out," he said. "Take out loans." The birthday treatment crystallized everything. For Emma's 25th birthday, they threw a massive backyard party with 50 guests and surprised her with a brand new Honda Civic. For my 25th birthday 2 months later, we had dinner at Olive Garden where Dad used a coupon, and they handed me a $50 Target gift card. "We knew you'd prefer something practical," Mom explained. When Emma moved to Portland to pursue life as a struggling artist, they started sending her $600 monthly. Meanwhile, when I landed my first engineering position, they immediately asked when I'd be financially stable enough to help support Emma too. Fast forward 5 years. I'd built a successful career, owned my home, and lived contentedly in Colorado. Emma remained in Portland, bouncing between artistic pursuits and unstable boyfriends. My parents continued bankrolling her lifestyle, calling it investing in her artistic journey. Then everything changed. Dad suffered a massive heart attack. Mom's panicked call came at 6 a.m. "Your father's in the ICU. I don't know what to do about the house, the bills, his business." Emma can't handle this kind of stuff. You know how sensitive she is. I caught the next flight home and spent 3 intensive weeks managing every aspect of their crisis. Emma made exactly 2 appearances, brief hospital visits where she spent more energy discussing how stressful hospitals were for her sensitive energy than actually helping. During my deep dive into their financial records, I discovered their will. They'd been planning to leave Emma the house and 70% of their assets because she needs more help in life. My inheritance was a small savings account because I was already successful and self-sufficient. When Dad recovered enough for serious conversations, they sat me down with matching earnest expressions. "We need someone responsible we can count on," Mom began. "Would you consider moving back home permanently to be our caretaker?" I looked at both of them, suddenly valuing the qualities they'd dismissed my entire life. "Let me understand this correctly. You spent 30 years telling me Emma was the special one, and I was just the reliable backup plan. Now you want me to be essential when it suits your needs?" "But family is family," Mom protested. "Don't you feel any obligation to us?" "Exactly," I said, standing up. "Family is family. So ask your favorite daughter to step up." I told them I'd help research professional care options, but I wasn't sacrificing my life to fix their decades of poor planning and favoritism. Emma called that night, screaming, "How can you be so cruel? They always loved you more anyway." I actually laughed. "Really, Emma? They loved me more? Then why did you get the car, the monthly money, the house inheritance, and 30 years of celebration while I got lectures about character building?" The silence was absolutely deafening. 6 months later, Emma reluctantly moved back home to help with Dad's recovery. She lasted 2 weeks before having a complete breakdown from the stress. They ended up hiring professional care anyway, just as I'd suggested. Now they call regularly, voices strained with financial worry, asking for money to cover mounting care costs. Emma's back to her art in Portland, and they're finally seeing what their decades of favoritism actually bought them. I send flowers on birthdays and holidays. That's the extent of my involvement now.